Alarm off. Kettle on. Turn this up. Sun peeking through the curtains, we already in gear. Whole town tuned in, bring your coffee over here. Down locked in, yeah, you know how we do. It's the community wake up with news you can use. Community wake up morning show. Charles and DAMALI on the go. News you can use right here, right now. We break it down, put it in your lifestyle. Charles got the headline straight, never hollow. DAMALI got the game plan, moves you can follow. Traffic and the weather, what's popping at the school. From the block to the boardroom, we keep you in the loop. Yeah. Community wake up morning show. Charles and DAMALI on the go. News you can use right here, right now. We break it down, put it in your lifestyle. From the front porch to the car bustle, keep it light, keep it real, keep the hometown muscle. Turn it up, let the whole crew know you rockin' with the community wake up morning show.
Good morning and welcome to the Community Wake Up Show. I'm Mr. Charles Harper and this is DAMALI Wilson. Good morning. We live in the studio. DAMALI, how you feeling today?
Feeling pretty good. What about you?
Hey, I'm doing great. We are here to deliver the news that you can use, culture and conversation, and the community forward every morning.
That's right. So today our theme is ownership, which simply means shared responsibility and pride people take in protecting, building, and sustaining the places and people they belong to. We're also going to talk about opportunity, which is the fair access to resources, choices, pathways that allow people to grow, contribute, and improve their lives. We'll be providing listeners with valuable information about ownership and opportunity and what it means to community. The goal is to inform, empower, and connect community.
Yes, the vision, a stronger, smarter, more engaged community. We're going to set the tone by speaking up, and we are building forward together.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to get ready to do our morning affirmation.
Yes. DAMALI, how you feel today?
I feel pretty good.
You feel good? It's Thursday.
It is day 4.
Look, Thankful Thursday.
I like that.
Throwback Thursday. All kind of different kind of Thursday. We don't know what your Thursday is, but in the chat, let us know, and we'll shout you out too. Absolutely. But hey, I'm extremely excited about today.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to get ready for our morning affirmation. And so we want you guys to just breathe in, breathe out. I didn't tell you to breathe out yet.
Yeah, I couldn't hold it no more. Yeah. You know, so breathe in.
like
I gotta let it go. I gotta let it go.
So we're gonna breathe in, breathe out.
Yes.
And our morning affirmation for day 4 is this: I walk in excellence, knowing Black brilliance has always shaped this nation, even when it was uncredited. This affirmation reminds our community that excellence isn't something we borrow, it's something we inherit. Long before recognition, our ancestors built, created, led, and innovated. Their brilliance shaped this country, even when their names were left out. So when we say, I walk in excellence, we're not being boastful, we're being honest. We walk with purpose, dignity, and confidence because we carry a legacy of resilience and wisdom. This is a reminder that we don't move forward trying to prove our worth. We move forward knowing it. This has been our morning affirmation.
DAMALI, I like that because that's one thing in the morning, man. Sometimes you get up and your feet want to take off running. Your mind want to take off running before you even get to just settle in a little bit.
Yes.
So I love the affirmation because it gives you a moment to just woosah. Look, God woke you up this morning.
Amen.
So that means it's a purpose, it's a vision, and it's something for you to do today. And we are so excited that you at least decided to wake up with the community, wake up with Charles and DAMALI.
Yes.
Because we got some good stuff today. So if you're up already, text a couple friends right now. Let them know. Click that share button because today we're going to get into some stuff that I feel like is maybe one of our best shows.
Yes,
you know, today is going to
absolutely.
be that kind of day. So put your seatbelt on, get your coffee. Do you drink coffee?
I do not.
See, we don't even drink coffee. So when we wake up, we waking up without coffee. You know what I drank this morning?
What?
H2O.
I did too.
I got up with the water, but I like that everybody has the thing about it. Everybody has their wake up routine.
Right.
Do you mind sharing with the people what's your wake up routine? What gets DAMALI from I woke up to this smiling face right here?
So I actually get up in the morning and I start off by reading my morning scripture.
I like that.
Because that kind of gets me grounded. And then I get out of the bed. So I actually do that laying in bed.
Right.
I just get up, grab my phone, read my scripture, and I'm like, kind of ponder on it for a moment, meditate, if you will. And then I get up, go ahead and get started, brushing my teeth, washing my face, kind of
Right.
jump in the shower and get ready, to come on out. But one of the things that I do in the mornings is when I get in my car to go anywhere,
Right.
I listen to gospel music.
That's good.
Yeah. Just
So
to
what
kind
you
of get
doing-
my mind right.
You're going to take the Lord with you
Everywhere you go.
everywhere you're going to go.
Yes.
When I wake up, it's just a little different. I peep. Boom. One eye come open first.
One.
The Lord woke me up.
Yes.
And I'd be like, okay, it's a purpose today.
Yes.
And then what I try to do is not let my mind get busy on a whole lot of stuff. I try to think about the things that's going to get me centered a little bit. I'm feeling thankful that the Lord woke me up. I'm thankful for my family, my friends. And then I kind of just go into the prayer for our country.
Yes.
I pray for our state, for the
Yes.
local, for the church, just for everybody to be okay. Because then I feel much better before I get out here.
Right.
In the traffic jams and all that stuff.
And the
'Cause you
hustle
don't,
and the bustle.
and the hustle and the bustle of life. I hope that when I come out my house, I'm bringing good energy. I'm bringing good vibes. I'm
Yes.
definitely not going to leave the house upset. So another thing that I just want to insert today, if it's cool, if you're a young mom, a dad, you're married, whatever it is, try to create good energy and good vibes for your kids,
Right.
for
Yeah.
your spouse,
Totally
for
agree.
whoever is in your household. Because the worst thing, Damali, is to be fussing and fighting with somebody. They leave and something happen.
Yeah.
And the last thing you got is you told them, get out of my house and don't come back if you don't want to. Or you told them kids, get out of here and some. Leave everybody that's under your rooftop. Let them leave with something positive.
Right.
You know what I mean? So remember that, because it can
Yes.
go a long way. Because we know all too many times people call us and say, man, we was fussing and then I never knew that was going to be my boy last day. Well, that's what we're saying. Kick
Yes.
off for positivity, positive
Absolutely.
energy, because we need that in our community, y'all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So a good thing today, we started out at 29, but we moving on up to 63 today.
We getting warm today?
We getting warm today. I am
We
so
need it.
excited because I'm tired of the dirty snow piles.
Man, the snow was just last week. If you forgot, it was just
It was,
last
yeah.
week. People snowed in and trying to figure out how they're gonna get back out. So I am welcoming
Yes.
of the warm temperatures on
Yes.
today. Hope you are too. So if you're out and about, be careful. It's gonna be good vibes. The sun gonna be out today, so you can get your vitamin D and
Hey,
all of that good
woo,
stuff.
I'm
And if
happy.
you're going to work and all of that stuff, like I said, you pop up in your office, do that cool, but slow down. I don't know. I was like, man, is it a concert or something at 7 and more people was out there on the BA Express? Say, Damali, they getting it. Have you ever been in your car and you going a nice little temperature, but everybody just blowing by you?
Yeah, you like
You look down, is my
at
car?
yeah.
Am I on the brakes or something? Anyway, y'all slow down a little bit because we do want to drive to arrive alive.
Right. So this segment has been sponsored by Theater North. So don't miss the play Nat Turner in Jerusalem.
Theater North Tulsa presents Nat Turner in Jerusalem at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center. A powerful two-person drama imagining the final night of Nat Turner. He confronts Thomas R. Gray, the man who recorded his words and helped shape his legacy. Written by Nathan Allen Davis and directed by Keith Daniels. It's the hit stage play Nat Turner in Jerusalem. Explore faith, resistance, and the cost of telling the truth. Don't miss Nat Turner in Jerusalem, playing at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center, Liddy Dungeons Theater. February 21st and 22nd, 8 o'clock and 3 p.m. And February 28th and March 1st, 8 o'clock and 3 p.m. Get your tickets now for Nat Turner in Jerusalem at TulsaPAC.com or call 918-596-7111. Nat Turner in Jerusalem by Nathan Allen is presented by arrangement on behalf of Samuel French Incorporated.
You know what? It's really not that bad being up at 5 a.m.
Damali, you know what? You're absolutely right. The only thing better is we on 5 days a week.
7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
It's the Community Wake Up, our brand new morning show.
Right here on NYCU.FM.
And simulcast on KBOB 89.9 FM.
We got your Black History Trivia.
We got your medical report,
Don't forget the police report.
your local, national, and international news,
Always the latest on upcoming events.
the Divine Nine and HBCU check-ins,
And most importantly, we can't do it without you.
and make sure you join us each and every day
It's the Community Wake Up.
with Charles and Damali.
Buy local, build local, support local. The Small Business Spotlight is brought to you by NYCU.FM. Listen live at NYCU.FM 24/7. Local dreams, local dollars, local success.
It's the Community Wake Up with Charles and
Damali.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, y'all. Hey, remember we're live every Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to
9 o'clock a.m.
just like that. So make sure y'all tap in. If you're not locked in right here on NYC.FM, remember we also live on KDOB 89.9 FM. We also live on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
The official World One Development
News you can use page.
just like that.
I'm
so
on
we
it today.
appreciate you on it today. You're on your job. I appreciate that. So we appreciate everybody the last few days. We done had Japan, China, Africa, Texas,
Yes.
Arkansas, Louisiana, California. Of course,
And the
Tulsa,
list goes on.
OKC, the B-Town, Arkansas, all kind of people. And so we just want to say thank y'all so much for rocking with us, man. We launched this show this week.
Monday.
Yeah, so
This
instead
is
of just
day 4.
day number 4. So instead of just getting us one time on Hump Day for 6 years and we never missed the show,
Yeah.
we're gonna run it back all week long because here's the thing, Damali. It's a lot going on in this world.
Absolutely.
You wake up and there's news flash after news flash, and there's all kind of stuff going on all across the country. So our job and our role is we want y'all to wake up with us. One, just to physically wake up, but then wake up, because it's a lot going on, and we can't be sleep at the wheel. Not in 2026, Damali.
Yeah,
We
right.
got to be in there. We
Right.
got to be in there.
So what we're trying to do is bring you positivity just right out the gate. Let's just get up and we're going to talk about some positive things that are happening in our community, but that's also happening around the globe.
Right.
So, we'll be inserting something, different news stories from our international friends, but then we'll also be talking about things that are happening locally and nationally, right? So we're going to be talking about ownership and opportunity today and how it relates to community. So that's what this is all about. If you've been watching the show, you will know that all week we've been kind of laying the foundation, letting you guys kind of know what we're going to be talking about, giving you some meat and potatoes, but we're going to make it apply to the different communities that are listening to our show every week. So this is another one of those, conversations that we're going to start having is about business ownership and opportunity. Okay. So why does that matter so much to our community is what we're going to talk about.
Right.
So business ownership, is about control and choice.
Right.
Okay. It's about the ability for people in the community to build something of their own, create jobs, and shape their economic future. Ownership is the difference between just getting by and building something that lasts.
Right.
When businesses are locally owned now, and I want you guys to hear this because in our community, sometimes we're like, we ain't supporting them because, and we
Right.
have all of these different reasons why, but this is why it's important for our community. So here we go. When businesses are locally owned, money stays in the community.
Circulate that dollar a little bit.
Circulating
Circulating that dollar versus just grabbing that dollar and going out to a whole different part of the city,
Absolutely.
spending all your money, and then you be like, what's wrong with our schools?
Mhm.
Why we don't have this? Why we don't have the right street lights? Why we don't have this? Because you're taking your money out of your own community. Now, it's okay to splurge a little bit and go out a little
Mhm.
bit, but when you get your dollar, you need to intentionally spend some of that money
Mhm.
in your own community,
Mhm.
whatever your community looks like.
Right. So jobs are created for neighbors. Owners reinvest in schools, just like you just said, events and local causes. And pride grows because people protect what they build. I love that. People protect what they build. Opportunity, on the other hand, is about access. Access to capital,
Right.
access to training and mentorship, and access to fair markets and contracts. Without opportunity, talent goes wasted. Without opportunity, ideas turn into with opportunity, ideas turn into impact. Business ownership and opportunity don't just help individuals, they strengthen the entire community. They create community stability, they build generational wealth, they give young people examples of what's possible. They help neighborhoods thrive instead of decline. And here's the truth: communities with strong small businesses are more resilient. They bounce back faster. They rely less on outside systems. So today, support local, encourage entrepreneurship, share resources, and invest where you live.
You know what, Damali, the beauty of the community wake up is we get a chance to address these things and think about it. Because a lot of times in life kind of goes fast, life kind of goes on, but you forget about those small mom and pop spots. You know why? This is what I think, Damali. I want to see what you think.
Yeah.
People get a little bit more money.
Yes.
I done made it now. So you know what? I don't want to go to the local soul food restaurant no more. You know what? Meet me at the big, I don't want to give no names.
Right.
People saying we say nothing, but you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
No, I go get my steaks here now, big dog. You know, I go do this. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. But that local is how you made it.
Right.
How many spots do you remember when you was growing up that your mama can be like, honey, go and get that sugar and butter for me and just tell Mr. Scott I got him on Friday. You could go down there. You could be 5, 6, 7 years old. Go in, go get everything that you need for your family. Come home, have a good meal, not have to worry about it. You don't have to have a credit card. You don't have to give some of your blood and do some kind of crazy ritual just to get some food. But do you remember that growing up?
I do. I do. And all of those things are gone away now.
I know, all the penny candy, the little cookies in the bag, the chicken wings in the sack, all them small businesses, which I feel like built who we are.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then when we decided to make it, can you imagine all those people was like, man, I was always looking out for DAMALI.
Exactly.
I was always looking at Charles. But now that they done jumped in the old Mercedes, they done jumped in the old Lexus. Now they just passed by me, man, like I'm not even here.
Yeah.
And then here's another thing, DAMALI. Even if you don't want to shop or buy or do something all the time, you can find another way to support. Pull up on them and say, man, how you been doing, Mr. Cooper? You know, how you been doing, Miss Wanda J? You know, how's things going with your store?
Right.
You know, because it can be some other ways. Because a lot of times, DAMALI, we realized this during the pandemic. Even small businesses, they are only like one. It's like a payroll or two is all they got.
Right.
You know, so when they hit with something, it's a hard hit. And a lot of times they're trying to pay their family, the people that work with them. So you got to just think about that in your community. Invest in your own community.
Exactly, exactly. Because when communities own businesses and have real opportunity, they don't just survive, they thrive.
Right.
You know, so we want to make sure that we are doing our part. And so we talk about accountability.
Right.
And so a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about is giving you some accountability, some things that we've kind of lost in the sauce.
Right.
You know, and if we can get back to those things in our communities, we'll be a whole lot stronger. We'll be more dependent on each other instead of being dependent on systems that can fail our community, because that's what happens a lot of times in our own community. So we're going to switch gears a little bit and we're going to talk about the workforce ownership and opportunity.
Don't say the workforce.
Yes.
Ownership and opportunity. Let me go to the live for a little bit.
Okay,
A lot of
ahead,
people popped in early, and I appreciate that. Man, we got tons of secret listeners. Man, the secret listeners, y'all are heavy. But we love y'all and we appreciate y'all. But we do say Mr. AJ Johnson.
What's up, AJ?
J-Bone Lounge is up and live. I appreciate you, AJ. Cousin Jude.
What's up,
Big
cuzzo?
Jube, if you're out there on that road, brother, be careful, man. Big Jube, you talk about entrepreneurship.
Yes,
you talk about
at its
business.
finest.
You talk about finding a way to grind it out and get it done, man. Jube is a prime example of that. Uncle Brian said, good morning, niece. Charles,
good morning, Uncle.
You are officially acknowledged, Uncle Brian. We appreciate you tuning in. We got many, many others, and I'm going to come back to the live. Amber Rose Stevenson said, good morning, all. We appreciate you tuning in with us, sister and mom.
Yes,
of course,
hey, mommy.
always wake up with us, and we appreciate that. I'll come back to the live in a little bit, but back to this workforce thing and this ownership thing that we're excited about, DAMALI.
So we're going to talk a little bit about workforce ownership and opportunity and why it matters to the strength of our community. So workforce ownership means workers have more than a job.
Right.
They have a voice, they have skills, and they have a pathway forward. It's the difference between just clocking in and building a future.
Right.
And you know, I've had jobs before where I'm just clocking in. I'm like, I'm just here to make my money and go home. But when you have ownership in that thing, you know, and you believe in the vision, which is like what we do right now, then it really doesn't matter how much you're making, because you feel like you're invested in that particular thing that you're doing.
Here's the thing, DAMALI, that's so crazy sometimes. A lot of times, the example is when you go to work, when you know you're just going to get a check, you'll be the people that say, man, you know what, at work, I don't do nothing.
Exactly.
Why that be that people's biggest thing? Oh, no, when I go to work, I just sit around and chill and do this. Then that lets you know you're not in the right kind of vein, which you should be excited about what you're going to do.
Exactly.
And the workforce should be giving you an opportunity for you to see upward mobility.
Exactly.
Not just give you a job, but some people talk to you crazy, want to work you hard. You have no leverage to move up.
Yes.
You just get a job and they have you sit like, man, hopefully we can just keep him right here or keep her right here for 20, 30 years. But you need to be a part of a job that want to invest with you. Hopefully give you some for education. We don't want you just to come in and all you got is just enough to do. We want to invest in you, because I like jobs like that. You know, hey,
yeah,
you go get your
absolutely.
bachelor's degree, we're going to give you a $10,000 raise. You
Right.
go get your master's degree, not only are we going to pay for it, but we're going to give you another $5,000 raise. So to me, that's the best mutual situation when you come down to business.
Right.
You know, and working.
So
workforce.
when people feel ownership in their work, pride increases, turnover decreases, and workplaces become safer and more stable, and people show up with purpose. Workforce opportunity is about access to training, just like you said, access to apprenticeship and certifications, access to living wage jobs and advancement. Opportunity means your zip code, your background, or your past mistakes don't get the final say on your future. I love that. And when workforce ownership and opportunity exists, the whole community benefits. Families gain stability, youth see real pathways to success, local businesses grow, and communities become safer and more resilient. So let's be real. Communities struggle when people are stuck in dead-end jobs with no growth. But communities thrive when people can learn, earn, and advance right where they live. So today we encourage investment in training and skill building, support for second chance employment, career pathways, and not just positions, dignity and growth in the workplace. Because when people have ownership and opportunity at work, they don't just survive, they build.
You know what? You said the key word, Damali. Ownership. I love those jobs. And if y'all on the live, let us know what y'all think about this as well. This is the part where you can jump in. It's the jobs that give you some ownership in the company. Damali. Like you work, we're going to give you some shares in the company. So now when you come to work, you don't feel like it's just only a job. You're like, man, I got 5%, I got 3%, I got 2% share in this company. So not only am I working, I'm helping to build my own business. You know what? And instead of just getting a paycheck all the time, every quarter I'm getting a little something extra because I'm part of the ownership. So for everybody out there that's part of the workforce, start considering that. Because that way you're not sitting out here being a billionaires, and then you're keeping everybody else held down, you know, with just the amount that you're paying. And what you think about businesses that allow you to have some ownership?
Oh, I love that. And I've worked at a couple of companies in my past career that have allowed you to do that. And I think that you do. Now, I think that sometimes upper management can, you know, make that a little bit dicey. But still the overall goal, I think, you know, by you having that ownership allows you to feel like this is my company, you know, and the things that I am doing are helping propel this company forward. I even like those companies who do incentives, like, you know, go on business cruises. You know, there's some type of, you know, incentive for you to, you know, continue to make the company what it needs to be so that it continues to grow and it's generational.
You threw me off when you said cruising. You know that song D'Angelo, Cruising? Soon as you said,
you went right there and started singing.
See, I'm up too early in the morning. As soon as you said cruising, I left the radio station. But I'm back at the Community Wake Up with Charles and Damali. But you can't just throw stuff out there. But that's a good point, man. You work for a company that allow you to take a cruise. Because I can tell you this now, because my mind may be wired a little different. But have you ever worked that job and all of a sudden you get a bonus for 1,000? Bonus for 2,000. See, I think too much. I'd be like, man, if they gave us 1,000.
How much they get?
I would always think, man, I wonder what they got, you know, because it might be 300 employees, but they done gave everybody 1,000 or 2,000. They done shelled out about 300 grand. I'd be like, ugh, they making all. So it always put me in a position where I would be encouraged to be able to be a business owner one day. But I was still also able to learn. Don't try to be the boss so fast. It's okay to get in there and learn your craft. to be an apprentice.
Mhm.
So you want to learn what you're doing. You don't want to, don't make it all about the money,
Mhm.
because you still got to be taking care of people.
Right.
So if you rush to the front and you start mismanaging everything, then guess what? Ain't nobody got no job.
Right.
You know, so.
And you know what? The other thing is too, and this is from being on the other side. I can remember being at companies and we're like, you know, oh, they got a new Lexus and, you know, they got this and they got that. And we still riding around in our Chevys, you know, and stuff. But then you don't understand too what they sacrificed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, just like people, you know, and I can use us as an example. People see us out in community, see us doing certain things in community, and they just think we just got money on top of money on top of money. I'm not denying or confirming that,
Right.
but what I am saying is, when you see us with these big old buildings come with some big old overhead.
Man, they cost.
They cost. I mean, you know, if an AC unit go out, that might be $15,000.
Right.
Like, yes, I said $15,000.
Right.
You know, the electric bill on these big old buildings. You know, I remember when I very first came and started working with World One Development, and the utility bills came, because I'm only used to seeing my home bills, right?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, a $2,500 electric bill. I'm like, for 1 month? What? You know,
Right.
but you don't understand until you get to the other side. You know, so sometimes it's not even that, you know, the bosses are trying to take all the money.
Right.
Right. But you don't know what they had to put in and sacrifice until they got to the point where they got into the black.
And let me say this too, with some of you small business owners, because I see some of y'all on the live, jump in here, because it's the thing that when you had to buy the company vehicles, you had to put all your money in. Then you have a partner, a homeboy, a homegirl start working with you. The first thing they want is what you have. And you have to be trying to tell them, man, I've been working on this for a year. I've been putting my plan together for a year. I had to take out a loan.
Exactly.
I got a loan. I got the service. You know, I got to take care of the gas. I got to take care of the bills. I got to take care of the cell phones. I had to register the company.
Exactly.
You know, I have to pay the sales tax on this. I got to negotiate all the deals. So when you come into that, give a little grace to the person that maybe you don't understand all of what they need to do, especially if they're a small business. No, they can't just share. You see a check for $10,000. Oh, give me half of that. They can't give you half of that. You know what I mean? If you happen to get a chance to see it, they may have to take that 10,000, bust down 4,000 of it, you know, and then they be thinking, I'm in the hole another $100,000 for what I had to do just to bring the company online. But when we talk about workforce, Damali, because I know a lot of people tuning in and people that also are hiring folks, what did you look for as a young person when you thought about workforce, when you went in, that would make Damali comfortable saying, I don't went to college, or maybe not, but I'm coming into this job. This is what I look for so that I can stay. Because here's the thing. Every time I go somewhere, it's new people working there.
Right.
Turnovers are high.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things? So maybe we can help some of these employees retain somebody for over 2 or 3 weeks, man. Because people be getting up out of there.
That really?
See, and I thought you was working over there at the spot. I quit.
No.
Then you see them say, well, I quit. I'm like, what's going on with the workforce? Nobody want to stay nowhere. When you think about our parents, they always say, I was there for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. Now, how long? I was there 5 days, 5 weeks, 6 months.
Yeah.
So
And
what
I'm
are
outta
the
there.
things that you look for, or what can we maybe help some of these employers with to say, this is what people are looking for to be happy to maybe stay, you know, at that particular job?
So I think number one for me was livable wage, you know, something, you know, I mean, I can't. So when I started in the workforce, I was making $3.35 an hour.
Right.
You know, now if you say $3.35,
making what?
$3.35 an hour.
I know, ain't that kind of crazy just
That's
to even
crazy.
say that? Yeah.
You know, where, you know, now some entry level jobs are, you know, $12 an hour, you know, well, at least $7, because that's minimum wage here in Oklahoma. But, you know, I mean, some of them are like, you know, $12, $14 an hour.
I know when you say $3.35, it sounds like you was working, like you was one of Jesus' disciples. You know, they're like they go back. $3.35.
I am not that old. Don't do me.
No, I'm just saying. When the last time $3.35
an hour.
But when you go back to them 80s, and you go back to them 90s, that's what we was getting paid. So some of y'all be like, man, I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler. That's what we used to get paid, and we was happy about it.
And was happy. Listen, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Couldn't tell me nothing. Look, I'm making
I got my own
$3.35
check.
an hour. Now you can't get somebody to wake up and come outside.
Right.
For $3.30.
Like how much? Oh no. But then the other thing that I was looking for was I was looking for benefits, you know, medical and dental, you know, vision, you know, because I wanted to be able to take care of my own health, you know, and so that was very important to me is, you know, what are you offering? And then also the opportunity to move up in the company.
Right.
fortunately for me, and I say it's fortunate because then it kind of lets you know the longevity that you have within yourself, right? So every job that I had, I always started at the bottom. Meaning, like, when I got into the legal profession, I started out as a file clerk,
Right.
which was really kind of the lowest job you can get in that office, and work myself up to a legal secretary and then a legal assistant, and I was able to get the certifications necessary. And the beauty of that is that our employers bought into us actually doing those positions.
That's good.
And so, I remember when I enrolled in school, because I was a legal assistant. No, I was a legal secretary. And so I'd kind of topped out in pay.
Right.
And so I was thinking, man,
This is it.
I'm divorced. I got 2 kids. I need more money to,
Right.
take care of my family. And so I was like, okay, what did I need to do? I think I'm going to go ahead and go back to school. And I'm going to tell you this, just because I enrolled in school, I hadn't even took the first class,
You
hadn't
showed
even
up.
bought a book, but just because I enrolled in school, my employers were so encouraged by me just doing that and making that step. I got a $6,000 a year raise
See there, y'all?
just because I
See there?
enrolled.
Right.
Hadn't even finished.
Because that means you are already investing in yourself.
Exactly.
So for some of you young people, instead of just getting on the job, even seasoned people,
Mhm.
and just being stagnated in
Right.
that, let your employer know, you know what, I want to go back and go ahead and get sometimes you got to go back and get your high school diploma.
Absolutely.
Or GED.
GED. Mhm.
I got to go back. I want to get my associates.
Mhm.
I want to get my
Mhm.
bachelor's. When employers hear that, you finna add value
Right.
to the job.
Right.
So Damali, it was good, that you did that. I'll say for me, because I kind of did both. Now I don't know about you. My first job, I was working for the city.
Oh, wow.
Weed eating the ditches and sweating and running out, filling potholes.
Oh, yeah.
And doing all that kind of stuff. And I was like, whoo, I think I'm gonna go to college right there. Like, I'm just
Right. Yeah.
because I knew, I said, man, and then when I was working to the gentleman, and nothing against that too. If you work for the city, I'm just saying, as a kid, 16, I was doing a job and trying to learn it. But I just knew right then, wasp chasing me all over the place. I said, man, I would look at them and say, man, I don't know if I can do that. And they would tell me, like, man, this is the only job I could do. I didn't graduate, man. And they would encourage me, because them old timers, boy, they got the stories for you. Man, stay in school, get your high school diploma, try to go to college, because I quit school in the 8th grade. So these are my options, but it let me know, okay, at least I'm gonna try to get my high school diploma.
Absolutely.
And kind of take it from there. But what I look for is what you said, Damali. In the perfect world, I feel like if you are 2 household, you got 2 parents in the household, 2 incomes. I would love it just if each income could sustain the household. At minimum, 2 people are together. If something happens to dad's job, you shouldn't be at jeopardy that you're about to lose your house and everything,
or have to go get on public assistance
and that kind of stuff off mom. So to me, when I think about giving people some livable wage jobs, it's both make enough that if they have to look out for the other. Because let me tell you something, you want to get some people to separate. Let bills and lights start flickering. If that light flicker, get out.
Right.
No, I'm just playing. But I'm just saying,
that's real talk.
It brings about a different kind of pressure, because daddy don't look like daddy no more. The husband don't look like the husband no more. Mama lose her job, because you got a lot of moms that are breadwinners now.
Yeah.
But if that mom lose that big job as the CEO, COO or something, then guess what? Man, we are a month or 2 away from being out of here. So I'm just thinking, in the workforce spot, give people enough room to have good livable wage jobs with, like you said, Damali, at least good benefits. And another thing that I like, do a little quarterly bonus or something.
Right.
A little biannually bonus or something. But just, try to look out versus just getting the big money and becoming just billionaires, because I feel like our country is off when less than 1% has all the money in
All
the
the
world.
wealth.
What kind of system we have when it ended up where 1% of the people, Damali, got all, like 98% of all the money in the world. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
That's a system that don't work for everybody.
Right. So Uncle Brian says everybody has a price, and there is not enough jobs out there who invest in their employees. And you can see the fruits of it when companies invest in their people. And you can see when cities die because of greedy companies who don't care about employees. Muskogee is a prime example. Uncle Brian, now why you put Muskogee on
He
blast?
put Muskogee in there just like that. Let me go back up to the
Childish.
top too. I see what Mr. Energizer said. Good morning. You know the wake up is about all of us, so we coming to the live, y'all. You don't have to worry about it. Uncle Brian, good morning. Of course, I had to acknowledge him. And then AJ said his morning routine. He said he drinks water and coffee. This morning, which he said he do every morning. Okay. So it seemed like he hydrates himself. Right. And then he give himself that little upper, you know, because that coffee, because some people, DAMALI, a notch, I can tell certain people that have to have coffee because when you first see them, they don't have no energy. Right. No energy is on zero. You give them that and they'll tell you. And not only that, then they got an attitude. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me before I have my coffee. So what you're saying is don't even say good morning to me because I start my day with Folgers in my cup. Right. I'm like, you better get out of here. I can't even speak to you. No, but it's crazy when you know you have to have certain things. So I'll be like, okay, let me let my sister or my brother get their coffee. They don't even want to talk to me yet. Then you get the coffee. Now you're ready to do the percolator. Exactly. You're ready to do the lectures. No, I won't do all that. Right. I just want to say good morning to you. Yes. Back to the live, DAMALI. What else you see? Absolutely. Looks like somebody. Oh, Ambrose. You know what, Ambrose? That is a good question. So he said the school across the street from World One. Now this is on a whole nother topic, right. But he must be driving past, and he said the school across the street it doesn't have a school zone. So I'm thinking he's talking about crossover. You're right. There's not a school zone there. Yeah. Well, you know, maybe because it's a new school. I don't know. It still should be because it's right here. What, Hawthorne? Right here, elementary. You got that, but you just said something right there. Yeah. Because one, you got to remember, I think the speed limit is 25. So when maybe you come down 36, and maybe since the speed limit is already 25 in school zones, it's 25. So what you gonna, you know, I don't know. Want to do 10. That's a good question. But I still think maybe you have to remind you that hey, watch for kids are crossing. You know. Yeah. Also, we got some other people on. We appreciate y'all. DAMALI, you want to read any? Martisha said, good morning. Good morning, sis. How are you? Hey, what's going on? Kingsley Solomon. Hey. Man, I love that name. And said, I agree on something. You went said a whole lot of stuff already. So, Miss Childs. Yes. Martisha. Is on here. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. And man, our secret listeners are up, man. We up to a couple thousand people already. And we're going to have a great show. So get your pen and pad out because we're going to keep going deeper and deeper. First, we've been kicking it off with the workforce spot. And what would you like to see? DAMALI talked about benefits. You know, if she gets her education, add some to the paper, you know, making sure she can do those things. My thing is give me a livable wage. Yes. Give me something where when I go to work, I can take care of my mortgage, my car payments, my utilities and all that stuff, and put a little something back so that I can take me and my family. We like the vacation too. Exactly. Don't pay me just enough to work. Pay me enough. I'm just appealing to what most people may think. The family should at least be able to go to Six Flags over Texas. Yeah. You know, go to California. Everybody want to go to Disney World sometime. Yeah. You know, so pay people enough where they can enjoy other things in life versus just I go to work, I go home, I pay my bills, and that's your routine. You know, so that's so Ambrose said no, the speed limit is 40 on 36. I don't even know what the speed limit is because normally when I get on 36, I'm right at the event center. It is. So so we well, I know it's going to eventually become because it's a lot of development going on. That's the beauty of Community Wake Up. So with a lot of development going on, some of those things are probably coming online because they got like the little bus spots where you can stop and all of that. So it's a lot going on this in the Phoenix district. Can we say that right here on this corner? So we will bring that to the attention of our local officials though. So that's a good catch. We appreciate that. Thanks, Ambrose. We appreciate that. All right. So now we're going to touch on just a little bit about what's happening economically right here in North Tulsa. Then across Oklahoma and then nationally and what it means to everyday people. Yes. Okay. So here in North Tulsa, there's a movement and conversation. Uncle Brian has a comment. We'll come back to it here in just a second. Tulsa, including mixed income housing projects that are expected to bring new housing units, construction jobs, and long-term economic activity. What that means is investment is coming into the area, but the biggest question remains, will longtime residents benefit and be able to stay? You know, and that's one of the things that we talk about in community all the time, you know, and we are championing, making sure that, you know, longtime residents benefit. You know, we don't want to see gentrification. We don't want to see the turnover. This is our community. And that's why we're talking about some of these things about supporting local. Right.
You know, supporting the small businesses in your community, because when you don't do that, then those small businesses have to go elsewhere or they just cease to exist. So then now you have other folks moving into community that you may not necessarily want to be in community,
Right.
you know, and businesses that you may not want to be in community, but the ones that were here and serving the needs, you let them die.
Right,
You
right.
know?
And then supporting one that had been there for you all of those years. And I'll say Damali said it is a lot of development. So whether you're a local, national, international, if you have not been to 36th Street North in Peoria in a while, you might want to pull up because there's a whole lot of development going on right across the street where Comanche used to be. If you haven't been here for a while, Comanche been gone for like a couple of years now. And it's a whole different development that's coming online, like the largest affordable housing development ever in the history of Tulsa is going on, Damali, in
right
North Tulsa, right here, right now. They already opened one of the facilities. They already have 100 units, small grocery store in there, got a fitness center in there, and that's already, I think, at capacity. But right across the street, they're building a second one that may open this year.
The end of the year.
The end of this year. So that's going to be, I think it's going to be 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms right across the street. But then Capital Homes get ready to build 72, 73 homes, just like in Owasso, just like in Broken Arrow. It's going to be very, very nice homes right here. So Damali, I think what people need to consider, drive over here. Number one, we're going to be having some workshops. We'll be giving you guys those dates. When you come in, we're going to talk about just being able to get a house, but we're going to talk about how you can participate in the generational wealth. That's why we're talking about ownership today. So if you got that trade where you do drywall, electrical, if you do roofing, if you plumbing, landscaping, and all that stuff, there are contracts that are significant that are going to be coming online for the next few years. So get in line, get in position, because we've already did that. We ain't going to talk about that right now. But do those things because we're going to share the knowledge. We're not just going to keep it to ourselves.
So at the same time, job training and workforce programs are increasing their focus on North Tulsa residents, aiming to connect people to construction, manufacturing, skilled trades, career path jobs. However, many families are still feeling pressure from the rising rents and living costs, which continue to be a concern across Tulsa. And so that's what we're talking about is, you know, making sure that we're in position, making sure that we're in alignment. And I'm sorry, but you got to invest in yourself.
Right.
You know, you got to go, and you can't, we were having a conversation the other day with some folks, and I was saying, you know, you can't say, I want to be a doctor, but you don't even have your GED.
Right.
Well, how do you think you're going to become a doctor? You've got to invest in yourself.
Right.
You've got to make a step in order to move into that direction. And then, you know, then things will just kind of fall into play. But it's kind of like, you know, you got to get the ball rolling.
You got to keep it realistic. And here's the thing, you can be anything that you want to be.
Amen.
That's one thing about growing up. If you put your mind to it, and because Damali and I just being where we are right now, it's just something that we put our mind to. Because most time as a kid, do you think Damali's going to own an event center? Maybe not. You might not think about that when you're just a kid at, you know, at what, Carver, middle school and all that. You don't think that, but Damali had to do some things. And the beauty of us is we share the information. You know, you just don't you don't just stumble up on the situation, because prayer or faith without what is dead?
Works is dead.
You got to do the work, y'all. We're going to put the work in. We're going to put the work in.
Okay, so across Oklahoma, the economy shows both growth and caution. The state has landed large-scale manufacturing investments, including major industrial projects expected to bring thousands of direct and indirect jobs, long-term economic diversification, and Oklahoma is also investing in millions in workforce training, especially in advanced manufacturing, technology, aerospace, cybersecurity, and AI. We've been talking about AI for, you know,
Look, you said two
last
things.
year.
We met with the White House. Cybersecurity in Oklahoma, they need like 5,000 jobs. We talking about these are good jobs. I'm talking about we sitting down, we didn't even know that y'all was 4,500 jobs short in Oklahoma in cybersecurity. AI, we talked about that, and we're gonna have one show we're gonna really dig into that AI. But at the end of the day, y'all, AI is gonna be taking a lot of these jobs. So here's the thing: you're gonna have to you gotta be at least. You got to have a good understanding of AI. Yeah. Because if you don't at least know that, then they're going to walk you out the door. Because I've been looking up thousands from FedEx, thousands from UPS. They got these drones landing all in people's backyard now. You know, if you work for the UPS office, not even at the hospital. Now these surgeons are robots in another country doing surgeries in the United States. So it's kind of like Damali. I don't know what jobs are safe right now from AI. AI going to be part of every industry in some form or fashion or in some capacity.
So you need to learn. You need to be open to that concept. The state is preparing workers for future jobs, not just today's jobs. At the same time, economists warn that Oklahoma's growth could slow in 2026, especially because the energy sector, a key part of the state's economy, remains unpredictable.
Right.
You know, so now nationally, it's sending mixed signals.
Wait a minute. Mixed signals is all over the place.
It's all over the place.
I got to go to the live because Uncle Brian got jokes.
Oh,
but I'm gonna say the part that's not jokes first. The first, Black Wall Street would not exist without some of the businesses having second businesses on Black Wall Street in the day based in Muskogee.
Oh,
then he said, Damali, do you ever look at the speed limit?
Don't do me, Uncle Brian.
He said it's just a joke, but he's bringing up a good point. Damali don't have nothing to do with the speed limit. I ain't gonna say too much because Lieutenant DeLawrence Sanders will be in here soon. But
write me,
Uncle Brian, you know your niece best, and her mom is on, so I'm gonna leave it right there because Uncle Brian said it, and I'll let him sit in that hot seat just like that. But Damali, I think you're bringing about good points of what they're doing in the workforce. So you have states and the government and cities investing in people right now. So all we're saying is open your eyes up, turn the mirrors back on because things are changing so much. Get engaged, if not just for yourself, for your kids, for your loved ones, and people around you, because we want and need to be informed on these changes that are taking place because you don't want to wait till you feel it. You don't want to wait till you're frustrated to try to see what's what, because guess what that means, Damali? You're behind the 8 ball.
That's right.
So instead of being proactive, you're being so reactive, and we don't want our community left behind.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what is 15 before the hour? So we're going to wrap up this segment really quick. Uncle Brian says, I'm very proud of how people like yourselves are working hard to build Tulsa back to where it first started and where it should have been today. Thank you, Uncle Brian, after you hated on me. But, I'm just like, love you. But anyway, nationally, job growth has slowed compared to last year, and hiring isn't as strong as it was. Inflation has erased some, but prices are still high for essentials like food, housing, and utilities. The Federal Reserve System continues to watch inflation closely, and interest rate decisions later this year could affect mortgage rates. Here we go again.
Right.
Mortgage rates, car loans, credit cards, and small business financing. So families are still feeling stretched, even when the economy looks stable on paper. So what this means for community right now, investment is happening.
Right.
Jobs are being created. Training opportunities are expanding, but affordability, wages, and access remain key issues. Strong economic works best when local residents benefit from growth.
Right.
Workers have pathways, not dead ends, and housing stays accessible and opportunities are shared. So economic growth should lift communities, not push them out. North Tulsa and the nation are all at a moment where intentional choices will determine whether growth becomes opportunity or pressure.
You're going to have to save some of your coins, y'all, right now to be so what happens is when things start getting, and people are kind of doing it because right now people are holding on to them dollars. So you're doing the right thing. But if you got a mortgage or something coming up, being intentional, you need to close some of that stuff out right now and just kind of hold on. Because we know when this inflation start kicking in, it hits everywhere in every area. So that check you have for $1,000, you just go get some gas, go get some food, and all of a sudden you're like, man, my whole check is gone.
Exactly.
So we're going to try to talk about what's coming up so you can start making those adjustments, because that's what happens to most people, Damali. They just don't even pay it no attention till they just go like, man, my you know how them gas bills and water bills and that stuff start coming in. It's like, man, my water bill been $80. Now how my water bill $130?
I think me and my mama were talking about that. You know, my mom's like, it's the same water. I've been living in this same house for like 54 years.
Yeah.
And why in the world, you know, you watch your water bill go from this amount to now it's way up here and you're using the same water, you know? And one of the things that my mom says is I had 5 kids at home. So I was using more water back then than I'm using today.
And so
the
increase, and what people don't realize, whoever are making these decisions, an increase on $30 or $50 per utility can really hurt a household.
Man.
That extra $50 is how my kids played sports.
Exactly.
I use this for daycare.
Yep.
I use this extra money for my reserve, you
Mhm.
know. But if you at least are informed of these things happening, hopefully you can make some of those adjustments. Instead of going out to eat every weekend,
Mhm.
you go every other weekend.
Right.
Instead of doing certain things, see, if you make these adjustments, you won't feel the pinch as
Mm-hmm.
much. So on the community wake up, that's what we're going to be bringing to you guys. What's going on, when it's going to happen, when it goes into effect. So hopefully you can make those adjustments, you and your family, sooner. So what we share with you, share with somebody. And by me saying that, hit that little share link
Mhm.
on your eyes. So even if you got to get into work, it's coming up at the top of the hour, you got to get in there and do the things you need to do. Click share before you go in so other people can see this.
Absolutely. Uncle Brian said, I asked this question again. There is a vicious rumor that Section 8 may be going away soon. Is this true? Uncle Brian, you know what? We don't know, but we can find out.
Well, they're making some halftime adjustments. So what they're doing is probably it's not going to go away in a sense of being gone, but the requirements
Mhm.
to be able to get it, you might well get a job.
Yeah.
So they make things so difficult. Like, well, if I got to go look for a job once a week, if I got to go do this and go do that, and by the time you do all of that,
Mhm.
it's going to kind of be like, let me go ahead and
But
get a
this
job.
is the thing
So it
too,
depends on how you look at it.
and this is the thing too that I will say, all of these systems are created to be a help.
Right.
They're not created for you to be on them forever.
Right.
You know, there's supposed to be a stepping stone, and I think that some of us get comfortable
Right.
in the situation, be like, oh, they paying for, you know, I only got to pay $2 and they pay, you know, 5,000, you know, or whatever the amount is, you know, 1,500. And so I think that that's what they're trying to cut down on.
Right.
Is they're trying to curtail that, because it's not the government's job to take care of you 100%. You need to be a productive citizen.
Right.
You have some responsibility, you know, just like we have responsibility. And so the goal is for the program and the system to be there to help you get to a point where you can stand on your own 2 feet.
Right.
So I think that's why these requirements are going to change. But we'll talk about that. Those will be some of the things that we are talking about as adjustments are being made on the local, state, and national levels. Then we're going to be talking about what that looks like. Like we're saying, we're just laying the foundation, letting you know some of the things that we're going to be sharing with you and giving you a broad overview about what that looks like.
So what she's really saying is we got the details, but what we're doing this first month, we just kind of laying the foundation so you know all these are the different things that they cover. If people don't know anything about it, you at least got, you know, a floor, you know, for what we're talking about. So that way we don't just start dumping so much information that's heavy and be like, I don't even know what they are talking about.
Right.
You know, so DAMALI, that's good stuff. So just keep your eyes and ears open, because we didn't want to just all of a sudden do 5 shows a week. That wasn't, but we was like, man, it's so many things changing so fast.
Yeah.
You know, and every time we see it's grandma and grandpa and, you know, it's incarceration rates. There's a whole lot of stuff going on that we got to make a lot of adjustments, or things can get really bad for our community, and we don't want that to happen.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to give you a community update regarding grants, jobs, and training and entrepreneurship. Okay, so here in Oklahoma, there are real opportunities and opening doors that are happening for anyone looking for work or a better career. Tulsa Community Work Advance continues to offer free job training, career coaching, and placement support for in-demand industries. This is about helping people get skills that lead to real jobs, not just short-term work. Statewide, Oklahoma has received millions in federal workforce training funds to expand programs in advanced manufacturing, aerospace, technology, and AI infrastructure.
Right.
So there's a lot of different ways that you can enter into the space of AI. These funds are helping career tech centers, colleges, and workforce partners prepare people for future-ready jobs. For entrepreneurs and small businesses, the Oklahoma Department of Commerce is preparing to reopen the Innovation Expansion Program later this year, offering funding to help businesses grow, hire, and invest in equipment and innovation. And we'll be watching that and talking about that, because we need some of them dollars.
We need some of them dollars. I can tell you now, here at our event center that we have on 36th Street North in Peoria, we're going to be doing workshops every month. So if nothing else, we'll be putting those dates out there for you so that you can come, and we'll be updating in person. We're going to have them people come in. You're going to be able to fill out some of this paperwork on site. So this is the time where you got to get in the game on this workforce thing. And a lot of this stuff is free. So this world is kind of trying to creep and move on. So you're never too young or too old to come in to see what's going on. Because if you are in a position now, you've been having a good job. You've been doing pretty well. But if you can get into this workforce program for 8 weeks, 6 weeks, and make some adjustments and make even more money, why would you not do that, Damali?
Or put yourself in a different position, because some of these jobs that we've had around for 20, 30 years, those are going to be phasing out.
Right.
And so then, it would be a sad situation for you to be like, I've been doing this all this time. Now my job is out. What am I going to do? And I'm not old enough to retire.
Right.
So you don't want to be in that position either. So if you're a business owner looking to scale, help may be coming. There's also ongoing opportunities through federal rural and micro enterprise programs that support small startups and side businesses, especially in underserved communities.
Talking about the side hustle?
The side hustle.
Boy, that's the one thing
could
about
get some
our
funding.
community. I can tell you, everybody got a side hustle. Be like, look, I'm gonna have you a piece of cake Sunday at church. You know what? I got them rib dinners coming out for you. But, I'm gonna get me a food truck in a minute. But remember this: there's monies available for you and your creativity, and that's what we're talking about here. Because a lot of times we get used to it being so hard. But there's programs out here, you can do some of this paperwork and you get a macro grant for $10,000. What is that going to do for your business? Even if you got that $10,000 loan or that $10,000 line of credit, you can put it up. So now on a rainy day, instead of you stressing so much, you got something can give you by when a snowstorm come by for a week. Now you got a line of credit for $10,000 to now just lose so much and potentially have to close your company down. Because sometimes it don't take but much. Ice storm for a week is enough sometimes for a company to be like, man, I'm going to have to go ahead and shut this thing down.
AJ said they already implemented a law in reference to the SNAP benefits in Arkansas. In order to continue to receive SNAP benefits, you have to be in a job training program or doing volunteer services in the community. You will have to seek your GED. If you're going to pursue a degree, they will pay for daycare as well and provide transportation. They will provide you with a job advocate, etc. This will be a way to lead people back into the workforce. And that's absolutely correct, because these programs are really designed. They're not designed for you to live on them for 20 or 30 years.
Right.
They're designed for you to get on them, find, gainful employment through these work training programs. And then now you're off so that somebody else can come into that place.
Guess what? I think it's going to bring about a challenge, because sometimes, Damali, I believe it's just your mental.
Yes.
You're so accustomed. It's a generational thing. My grandma, my mama, now me have been doing this government assistant thing all our life. We pimping the program. You know what I'm talking about? You get into all of that. But now I love the way, and do you agree with the way they're doing it now? You, like AJ said, they're going to give you an advocate to help you with the workforce. They want you to be enrolled in something to help you elevate your education. They're going to help you with daycare. So they're giving you the tools to do better. Damali, I feel like we all, black, white, green, or yellow, should aspire to want to do this. You know, I've been at home, things was bad because, man, and life be lifing.
It does.
We understand that. So I kind of been in this weird space for 6 months, 9 months, or a year. But at this point, you got to get your head out of the sand, because these programs are free, and take advantage of it, because, we want to see you thrive. We want you to get that house you want. We want to see you get that nice car. We want you to be able to have your kids dressed up nice, get the fresh cut and all of that stuff, because we're about excellence. We ain't about making it. We're about excellence.
Yes. So it's almost 3 to the hour. We're going to wrap this up really quick, and we're going to do our Black History Did You Know fact. So nationally, workforce and entrepreneurship investment continues. The U.S. Department of Labor has announced a new grant for youth workforce development, apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeships, training in healthcare, construction, IT, and manufacturing. These programs focus on connecting training directly to jobs. At the national level, agencies are also investing in workforce pipelines tied to emerging technologies, opening doors for people to enter growing industries, even without a traditional 4-year degree, which is great because college ain't for everybody.
Here's the thing, too. They say grant. When they say grant, they didn't say loan. So that means when they give you a grant, that means they're going to pay for it. And we have to just go ahead and say this. This world is changing, and it does not include everybody. That's just the reality, y'all. It does not include everybody. And that's the reason why, and I keep saying that we're going to do these workshops every month, because the grants and the money and the macro grants and all of that stuff, we're going to bring the people there. We're going to bring the application there. So that way, nobody can say, man, I was uninformed. I didn't know. I lost my job, lost my house. My family is struggling because now the ship is going to go on. That ship going to keep sailing. And you don't want that sucker way out at sea.
Right.
Now you're trying to paddle in the boat to catch up with it. So we're trying to give you the things so that you can get on the boat. You know what I mean? And make
so what this means for a community right now is training opportunities are expanding, grants are supporting job creation, entrepreneurs have a pathway to growth, and youth and adults have more access to skills that lead to careers. But access matters. Opportunity works best when information is shared, which is why we have this show.
Right.
Communities are connected to resources, and people know where to start. The bottom line is this is a season of building pathways, not just programs. If you're looking for a job skill, a new skill, a second chance, or support to grow a business, there's opportunities out there that are meant to reach the community.
All right.
So that's been your community update there. Now we're going to hit our Black History Did You Know fact.
You know what? We're at the top of the hour.
We're at the top of the hour. So we're going to hit this Black History trivia, and then we're going to right to a commercial.
With Charles and Damali.
All right. Black History Did You Know fact. Thomas Jennings is who we're going to talk about today. Although Henry Blair is the first inventor to be identified as Black by the U.S. Patent Office, he is not the first African-American to be awarded a U.S. patent. Many historians agree that Thomas L. Jennings is the first African-American patent holder in the United States. Jennings invented a way to dry clean clothes in 1821.
Way back in the day, y'all.
Way back in the day. Judy W. Reed of Washington, D.C. was the first African-American woman to receive a patent. Her invention is patent number 305474, which was granted on September 23rd of 1884 for a dough kneader and roller. You know, so she's making bread.
Right.
So this has been your Black History Did You Know fact right here on the Community Wake Up with Charles and Damali.
Just like that. Brenda Isham, I see your fitness guru. We're going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
Theater North Tulsa presents Nat Turner in Jerusalem at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center. A powerful two-person drama imagining the final night of Nat Turner as he confronts Thomas R. Gray, the man who recorded his words and helped shape his legacy. Written by Nathan Allen Davis and directed by Keith Daniels. It's the hit stage play Nat Turner in Jerusalem. Explore faith, resistance, and the cost of telling the truth. Don't miss Nat Turner in Jerusalem, playing at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center, Liddy Dungeons Theater, February 21st and 22nd, 8 o'clock and 3 p.m. And February 28th and March 1st, 8 o'clock and 3 p.m. Get your tickets now for Nat Turner in Jerusalem at TulsaPAC.com or call 918-596-7111. Nat Turner in Jerusalem by Nathan Allen is presented by arrangement on behalf of Samuel French Incorporated.
You know what? It's really not that bad being up at 5 a.m.
Damali, you know what? You're absolutely right. The only thing better is we on 5 days a week.
7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
It's the Community Wake Up, our brand new morning show.
Right here on NYCU.FM.
And simulcast on KBOB 89.9 FM.
We got your Black History Trivia.
We got your medical report.
Don't forget the police report.
Your local, national, and international news.
Always the latest on upcoming events.
The Divine Nine and the HBCU check-ins.
And most importantly, we can't do it without you.
And make sure you join us each and every day.
It's the Community Wake Up
with Charles and Damali.
Buy local, build local, support local. The Small Business Spotlight is brought to you by NYCU.FM. Listen live at NYCU.FM 24/7. Local dreams, local dollars, local success.
The Community Wake Up with Charles and
Damali,
we are live Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to
9 a.m.
right here on NYCU.FM. We also are syndicated on KBOB 89.9 FM. We on YouTube. My little bro just said he's on the YouTube. He said, I'm going to check y'all out on YouTube this time. It's on the official World One Development news you can use. Man, Damali.
Yes.
Thursday, Throwback Thursday, Thankful Thursday, all of that good stuff. How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. This
Feeling
is
pretty
day 4.
Day 4.
You know, so we kind of settling into what it is that we're doing, still laying the foundation about the things that we're going to be talking about with the community as you wake up.
Right. But when you think about ownership and opportunity, what does it mean to you personally?
I think that ownership means that I am actually investing myself in some way to whatever it is that's happening in community. A prime example is we have ownership, you know, and people call us stakeholders in our community just because of the way that we're moving through community to make sure that community is informed, that community is updated. It doesn't matter, you know, we just took that on, you know, that role on, and it wasn't about a paycheck. Ain't nobody come to us and say, hey, we want to give you some money to go and tell people about what's happening in the community. No, that didn't happen. We decided that there were great things happening in our community. We needed people to know about them so that people will not, you know, this disinvestment in our community will stop and will cease. So that's why we started the show. So it means, you know, standing up, you know, in what you believe in, showing people and educating people about what's happening and what's going on. You know,
I think ownership is very, very important. I didn't realize this when I first started working in community, that so many people didn't even own their own home.
Yeah.
So like one of the basic things is not even just owning your own home. I would be out here and it would be one person that owns 400 homes, 300 homes, 250 homes. And I would go and I'm thinking all these people own their homes. And then I realized, man, we don't have home ownership. And then I was looking like, well, that's why the school system is struggling. That's why no businesses are coming to the area. That's why all these things are not happening, because you do these things based on ownership, based on rooftops. So if you ain't got people, because home ownership, meaning that's families. That means that's people that need to spend money. And a lot of people don't think about that. So how do you feel about, well, one, do you own your home?
I do.
And if so, man, how did you feel when you finally owned your own home?
Well, home ownership has always been very important to me. Shout out to my mom, because she was like the first one in our family who actually owned her own home. Out of her siblings. She was the very first one, and it was very important to her to have a, you know, root, you know, for her children. So we've lived in the same house since I was 4 years old. And my mom is still there. She, you know, that house has seen a lot of different renovations throughout the years. But it's still there, still, you know, a viable asset, you know, to our family. And it's a place where anytime any of us, you know, because life be lifing, you know, so if something happens and you need to come home, you have a home to come home to. And
one of my biggest things, I always tell people, home ownership is better. You know, a lot of times you come out of college or you finish school or whatever you're doing and you end up getting an apartment. But sometimes you just get in a groove and you're so accustomed to just having an apartment that's all you have. But the thing about it, you spending more for your apartment when you can be owning your own home.
Exactly.
So when you're younger, and I tell my kids, sis, all the time, this is what the adjustments you make to your credit. And if you have a job, it don't take much. And if you have to even get a home that's a little bit smaller, that's fine. If you have to get a home that's $50,000 or $60,000, that's cool. Get that thing, fix it up, because the thing about a home versus just leasing, you get some equity in there. You know, so you might get you a $50,000, $60,000 home, fix it up a little bit. Guess what? Now it's worth $80,000. You sell it, you know, you go to the closing, you got an extra $30,000. Now you got 20% to go into, you like $100,000 home. Hang in there for a little bit.
And that's what I did.
And that's what you did. And you just keep building up from there. But if somebody don't sit down, Damali, and educate our community on even just those simple things, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
You know,
and that's the point of the Community Wake Up, as well as what we do in community. We try to offer those resources and provide that information to community, because like you say, you don't know what you don't know.
And I'm a type of person, and then we're going to get right back into the ownership and the opportunity, is a lot of times I say, do the things that you love, because you never work a day in your life. But say if what you love is to be a teacher, or you like to do certain things, but then you got another component to that, Damali, and those lifestyle. So you got to balance out what I want to do in my life that I love, but I also have the lifestyle. The lifestyle mean I want to travel. This is the kind of home I want. These are the kind of places I want to see. That might bring about a different number. So that's why I think it's always important. Even if you teach, you know, that might not be enough for that lifestyle, but that's when you start that small business thing.
Right.
If it's a flower shop, if you draw, if you do hair, if you do any of those things, because that can be the thing to support the lifestyle.
Right.
You know, so I got the thing that I love to do, but I got this business, this side hustle, and this side hustle provides and helps me supplement what I don't have to get the car I want, to travel where I want, to do some of those other things. What you think about that?
No, you know, you're absolutely right. And I have had a number of side hustles.
What was your
in my
side
life.
hustles growing up? I want to know.
Let's see. So I used to sew. So I used to make wedding dresses for folks and bridal parties. That was crazy. So at a point I just said, you know what, I'm done with that. I ain't doing that no more. Then I used to make stuff for weddings, like, candy, little candy baskets and all that stuff that you put on your candy table and stuff. Did all that for a while. I was doing plastic canvas. I probably don't even know what that is, doing plastic canvas, making, all different types of things like tissue box holders and stuff like that. Then I did cross stitch for a while. I've done so many different things.
Here's another good thing. Teach your kids how to have a side hustle. Man, my daughter been an entrepreneur since she was 9. She crochets. My daughter will be making $10,000. I'm like, girl, you done made about $10,000 a month. You're making more money than me.
Okay.
What we really doing in the house?
Right.
But that was a side hustle, but it's something that she loved to do. But she was selling up things for $75, $100, $150.
I got some of her products.
I didn't see you got some of her products.
I do.
So teach your young kids, instead of being on video games all day. And let's say now, I must admit, some video games you make money. But most people I see, they losing. So anyway, my point is, help your kids come up with a lemonade stand, something to help them get an ideal of what it is to be an entrepreneur. Because I feel like when you think about Black Wall Street, that's the beauty of the community Wake Up. We dealing with Black Wall Street, y'all.
Right.
And they gave us the blueprint. And it was about entrepreneurship and business. So it's nothing against working a 9 to 5, do that thing, but create you some on the side, because that entrepreneurship is when these systems are going against you, you still got something that you can stand on. DAMALI.
Exactly. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. Is we're going to talk about the role of business owners in our neighborhood.
Oh, the role, responsibility.
Of business. Yes.
Ooh, come on.
Accountability. Here we go.
Come on.
So local business owners are more than entrepreneurs. They are job creators. They're problem solvers. They're investors in the place we live. When we support a local business, you're supporting a family, a dream, and the community economy. What many people don't see is the reality behind the scenes. Most small business owners work long hours. They take personal financial risk, and learn as they go. Success doesn't mean easy. It means resilient. That's why small businesses need patience and grace. They don't have big staffs or big budgets. They grow through trial and error and support. And we're going to talk about that because we know all too well about this. And support isn't just about spending money. It's about referrals, showing up, offering constructive feedback, choosing local when you can. For many owners, especially in underserved communities, business ownership is about more than income. It's about legacy, breaking cycles, showing young people what's possible. Here's the truth. When business owners thrive, communities thrive, jobs increase, opportunities grow, neighborhoods stabilize. So today, we encourage you to support local business, speak positively about them, extend grace during growing pains, and recognize business owners as partners in progress, because strong communities aren't built alone, they're built together.
You know what? You preaching now, DAMALI. You preaching. He was preaching yesterday. You preaching today. Look, y'all. When people have small businesses, it's a struggle and it's difficult. They're going to make mistakes.
Man.
Stop going to Facebook Live.
Come on.
To beat your brother and sister down when they're trying to get started. I went to get something to eat. The chicken was cold. Okay. What you do is talk to them personally. Look, don't go on Facebook Live. Don't take a picture of it and post it, because you are really damaging and hurting the business. What you do is you go to them, because that's that. Now, here's the ticket, DAMALI. We all do need a standard. We understand that.
Yes.
And you should have a high standard in your business. And we are looking for excellence. But we're just saying, even in that, when you're a small business, it's just a struggle. But when you support, then we should see that elevation to get up to that standard. But let's just stop, DAMALI. beating each other
No,
down
no.
when we all just trying to make it.
You know what? I can remember, and I'm gonna put Oasis on blast just for a minute, but in a good way.
Right.
So when Oasis Fresh Market first opened,
Right.
everybody was they
Don't
stuff
say
is too
everybody.
high.
Don't
You know,
say
people.
everybody.
Well, a lot of people.
Some people
Were saying
Yeah.
that, you know, they stuff is too high. They doing this, they doing that. Well, first of all, you got to realize there's one Oasis. So of course they're not going to have Walmart prices when there's, you know, thousands of Walmarts all across the country.
Right.
So they can buy in bulk and, you know, spread that price, you know, throughout the bulk pricing or the bulk buy that they have. So I would tell people all the time, listen, just go support anyway. If they didn't have certain things, don't complain about it. Just go and talk to AJ.
So what happens is, and I understand all too well what Damali was saying, because on Facebook, that's all you saw. And what happens is it could be a few people crying and hollering. It seems like it's everybody. It's not everybody. It's definitely not the other small business owners, because when we come in to go shop, we already understand that. And that's the beauty of us coming together and having conversations. So when AJ say he's opening a store and we all supporting, he may can already say, well, okay, my Frosted Flakes, the little Tony the Tiger, might be 50 cents, 75 cents, or $1 more. But man, this is why. I'm not trying to gyp you. Now you want to go to other places to shop. But this is the way I have to operate right now. But then when you get around him and say, well, we're going to still shop with you, you know, then hopefully when the time comes, then your prices will be the same as others. But if you don't have the right price point, you're going to have to close down anyway. You got to be at a certain price point, not just at a grocery store. You got to be at the right price point if you are dry cleaning. You know, if you are do car detail, Jube, he be going on the road. Brandon Isham, he the fitness guru. He has to have a price point still in what it is he doing in order just to keep the doors open.
Right.
If not, you're losing. You're operating in the red.
Right.
So you at least got to get in the black.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I think is key is when we say we don't have big staffs or big budgets, right? And that we grow through trial and error and support. Right. And so a lot of things that you see, you know, when you see Charles and I, you know, of course, you know that we run the 36th Street North Event Center.
Right.
We have EduRec Youth and Family Fun Center and Fitting Back In Prison Reentry. We do radio and all of that. You see us all over the place, but, you know, be like, dang, Charles and Damali is everywhere. Well, that's because it's just Charles and Damali mostly.
Right.
You know, I mean, because we just don't have the big budgets that you think. Yeah, you see these big old buildings and you think, oh, man, they got all the money.
No,
we don't. We got a lot of big bills, you know, but it's important to us to be able to provide these services to community. So we do by any means necessary. If Damali got to be the after school teacher, well, so be it. If Charles got to be the after school van driver,
hey,
then so be it. He
I'm
picking up
pulling up.
kids. Yeah. You know, whatever, you know, if we got to be the janitor, we got that covered. So whatever it takes to be able to provide these businesses. And that's what people don't see. And I think that's one of the things that is most frustrating for business owners is that you don't see the hours that we're up. You know, we might be up to 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and we got to be on the show at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, you can't miss it. Here's another thing. We're going to start having workshops here, and we're going to be inviting all the small businesses. You know why? We want you to be able to stand up, introduce yourself, let people know where you're located, how we can support, where we can support, because in order to become successful in your own community, it has to be intentional. It's not like we just all gonna stumble up on success. It don't work like that. So we're gonna have to find a way to come together, because right now, if somebody asks you how many small Black businesses are maybe in North Tulsa, because that's where we located, you may not know. You know, every now and then you see somebody put a little directory together, but then it kind of go away. But we got to find a way to intentionally to know where the small businesses live, so that when you do get your paycheck, you're like, man, I didn't know Johnny had this over here. I didn't know Sally was doing this over here. We want to be able to know those things. So, like I say, keep your eyes and ears open for the workshops that we'll be doing at the events. And then the goal of those workshops is for us to be informed about what all small businesses are doing, so we can circulate that dollar. And then whatever else we want to do, that's just fine. You know, because we got to do this thing called life together. You know, either way it go.
Absolutely. And AJ said, Oasis Fresh Market is the only grocery store that provides extra services that I've never seen here in Arkansas. He said, plus his store gives out free items to customers as well. Have Walmart or any of those other grocery stores given out free items? Don't know. Because they're not in my community for one.
Right.
But for number two, I just don't think so. I
Right.
think that's probably not a necessity, you know. But and that's the other thing is when some of these larger larger businesses come into our community, they don't really understand the needs of the community.
Right.
Right. And so they don't know that people need rental assistance. You know, they need help with their utilities. They don't know that they need insurance, you know,
Right.
so we need to have somebody come in and talk to them about insurance. You know, they don't know all of these things, you know, so that's why it's very important to support local.
Right. And here's another thing, another piece of support that's really good. Let's look out for each other. You know, it comes a time of year where people stealing folks' units.
Yep.
People trying to mess with people's vehicles. Somebody just started their landscaping company. Somebody done pulled their trailer, took their tractor, took their stuff. So our responsibility as community is to also look out for each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, the person got a small business. If you driving by, you see something going on, don't be like, oh, I'm just minding my business.
Yeah.
But if you know and you have a relationship, you want to call and say, man, I see somebody around your building doing something. You might want to go check on that. Don't just let it be what it is, you know, like that. Even though we understand nobody want to be running around snitching.
Right.
We get it. We
get
understand the rules. It's rules and regulations to it. But I'm
Right.
saying that we want to elevate. It's still a standard we got to set. So if I see somebody getting ready to do something crazy and try to break in your spot, I'm going to call you, hit you up, say, man, you got somebody, something. You know what I mean? And I will hope you would do the same for me as well.
Right, exactly. AJ says the home of my wife and I were designed by us both. We did our background checks on the home builders here in Arkansas and had it built from the ground up. We had cut out having our realtor, which saved us money, and some other things we did to get the price lower. We had it built in 2015 and paid our home off and have full ownership of it in 2022. That's good. 2015, you built it and you paid it off in 2022. Come on through.
Right.
With that being a 3,366 square foot home that's one level with no stairs. So basically, when we were talking about home ownership and all of that previously, that's what AJ had to say about that. And then Marquise Nelson said, right on with this.
What's going on, bro? Good.
Yes.
He's just my best friend growing up. What AJ just did, y'all, is what Damali and I are talking about. It's called shared knowledge. See, AJ is seasoned. He's a veteran. He's a great guy. But a lot of times you see AJ, a lot of times the young people be like, oh, that's old school. I ain't messing with old school.
Right.
Have a relationship with old school. Because he just told you how you can have your house paid off in like 7 years. A nice home too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you don't
and I've been to his home and it is very nice.
It is very, very nice. But shared knowledge, because you got to live a little bit. You got to survive the things to get to where AJ is, you know? And so a lot of the struggles you may have as a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old, half your struggles could go away with one conversation with a person like AJ.
Absolutely.
Damali. And that's what we're hoping to do on the Community Wake Up, that if you don't want to just sit down face to face, bring us together to the same thing where we can share this knowledge. So right now, somebody probably going to hit AJ on the side, send him a little DM like, hey, how did you do that, my brother? Because, man, they've been struggling with their house for 30 years and still can't pay it off. You keep getting second mortgages. You still keep pulling your equity out. Shared knowledge, Damali.
Absolutely.
That's the way.
So now we're going to talk about something that we hear a lot about, but we don't always get explained clearly what it means. And that's economic development.
Yes.
So plain and simple, economic development is not just new buildings, big announcements, or ribbon cuttings. It's at its core, economic development is about people.
Right.
If people in the community aren't better off, development isn't doing its job.
Right.
And I'll say that again. If people in the community aren't better off, then development isn't doing its job. Real economic development creates jobs that pay a living wage, training and career pathways, opportunities for small business, and stability for families. And part of that stability is home ownership.
Right.
Teaching you about home ownership. And that's what brings business to a community, is because if you own your home, then it's less likely that you're going to be hopping all over the place, moving around. You're going to be stable and rooted.
Right.
And that stability is what draws companies and businesses to your community. So when we don't see certain food chains in our community, well, that's because they're counting the households,
right?
The rooftops, you know, the actual homes who are owned by individuals versus being rented by individuals.
Right. And I'll say this also, Damali, how we help people in our community is maybe help somebody with a lease to buy.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I own 100. I have 100 homes. I'm leasing. I'm making my cash flow, and that's cool. But if I see a young couple trying to make it with their kids, why not go, you know what, let me have a heart. And let me sit down and say, look, let's do a lease to buy. If y'all lease with me and y'all stay here, I'm going to put that toward you paying for the home. Give it 10 years. I'm going to give you to the deed to the home so you and your family can have home ownership. But that person got to understand that's not just helping that family. That's helping the community, because now you got another rooftop, you know, that has income coming in, where now more stores and restaurants and the things that people want can come into the community. But if people want to just sit back and own every house on the block, you know, then you really stagnate the community. Like you said, Damali, what kind of economic development do we have going on when you got a whole block that one person's own and everybody's in poverty, and now you off vacation in the Bahamas and the Caribbean and all of that? But we got to wake up and also not allow people to do that to us. You know, that's another thing. So for everybody just leasing, and you've been leasing for 20 and 30 years, that is not fair, Damali. It's just not fair. You know, and I'm not trying to, because there's nothing wrong with renting a home. Sometimes that's just needed. It is what it is. So I don't want y'all that got me. I got 5 homes. You got my people wanting to buy now. I'm not trying to do that to nobody. I'm just saying, we understand in our community that home ownership is critically important for us. You want to be able to leave some kind of generational wealth, or leave something back other than just debt.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely. Absolutely. So growth without inclusion can actually hurt communities. When development happens without community voice, longtime residents can be priced out. Small businesses can be pushed aside, and wealth can leave the neighborhood. That's why local benefit matters. Healthy economic development hires local workers. It supports local businesses. It creates opportunities for youth and returning citizens. It keeps dollars circulating in the community. Economic development is also long-term work. It takes time to build skills, businesses, infrastructure, and trust. There are no overnight solutions, only sustainable ones. So let's be clear. Small businesses are a major part of economic development, and supporting entrepreneurs, creators, and local owners is how communities build wealth and identity. Okay, let's see.
I'm gonna go to the live right quick. Uncle Brian says snitches getting stitches has been canceled.
Right?
Uncle Brian would just cancel anything at any time.
Right, at any time.
Now,
we're not doing that this year.
Yeah, I don't even want to say you snitching. You just want to call you and let them know. But I didn't even know Uncle Brian. So officially now, if you didn't know, in 2026, snitches getting stitches has been canceled.
Right.
Per Uncle Brian. So if you want to snitch and tell, go ahead and do it. But the Wake Up didn't say Uncle Brian said it.
No. You also can separate economic development from workforce development. Jobs don't matter if people aren't trained to fill them. People are the economy. Finally, community voice matters. Development works best when residents are informed, included, and are at the table, not finding out after decisions are made. So remember this: economic development should help people stay, work, grow, and thrive in communities they call home.
You know what? My mind is so creative. I wish we had programs that, one, was about families being stronger. So just say if it's baby mama or baby daddy, but had programs where they work together with a common goal to maybe hopefully Damali work together in a way. It's a program that says if mom and dad work together, then these are the things that we can do for a household to try to help unity or family come back together. Because Damali, I feel like most of the programs are designed where dad has to be out of the home. And I don't really like that. I would love it if the government, the state, and the local officials would come up with programs where individuals work together. Because what happens, we've been young before and had kids. And it's so stressful that it's hard just to stay together. So I wish they would come up with programs instead of just saying, well, we're going to help mom with the 2 or 3 kids. Let's have a program that includes a family. This is a family program where we want to help mom and help dad together. So now as a team, they can do better in their household and with the kid versus getting mom and saying, look, we'll help you with your bills and your utilities and stuff. But the requirement is, why would the requirement be daddy got to go? I don't really like that. And we got to find a way in our community to address that, because when you go back in the day, families were so much stronger. And that's why our community was so much stronger. That's why Black Wall Street existed all across the country, because families were together. But when mom is just by herself or dad is just by himself, that's the smallest community. It's just your family. So I'm hopeful that you and I can use our little circle of influence to talk about programs where you work with young people that have kids and stuff together, so they don't get so frustrated with each other. You know what I mean? That they don't want to talk to each other. They out here fussing and fighting and doing all of that versus finding a way to allow them to work together.
Absolutely.
And you supporting them.
Right.
Right.
So we've been talking about business. We've been talking about ownership.
Yes.
We have been talking about how community, the role that businesses and play in community, right? So now we're going to do our Black Business Spotlight.
That's my favorite part. One of my favorite parts of the show. We're going to spotlight some, and we're going to start having these people in here. So we're kind of spotlighting them now, but in March, we're going to spotlight them and let you see them, feel them, touch them, and ask them questions.
Yes. So this morning's Small Business Spotlight is all about celebration, creativity, and unforgettable moments. Today, we're going to be spotlighting Party of the Year.
Hey!
Yes,
come
yes.
on, Party of the Year.
We want to give a big shout out to Party of the Year, owned and led by Angie and Carl Walker.
Right.
If you were in the community, you know the Walkers. They do a lot of things in community, but Party of the Year is one of those things. It specializes in helping families and businesses and organizations turn special occasions into memorable experiences. From birthdays and milestone celebrations to corporate events and community gatherings, they bring business vision, style, and attention to detail to every event. If you want your event done right with creativity, professionalism, and heart, Party of the Year knows how to make it happen. What sets Party of the Year apart is their understanding that celebrations matter. These aren't just parties, they're moments people remember for a lifetime. As a locally owned business, Angie Walker and Party of the Year are supporting joy, connection, and community pride right here in Tulsa. So if you're planning a celebration and want it done right, you can connect with Party of the Year at 918-282-5512, or you can go to their website, tulsapartyoftheyear.com. That has been today's Small Business Spotlight, Party of the Year, owned by Angie and Carl Walker, helping Tulsa celebrate life one event at a time.
I love it. Shout out to Angie. We're at the bottom of the hour, y'all. We're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, we got some special things we want to tell you guys. So y'all stay locked in. It's a Community Wake Up with Charles and
Damali.
And we'll be right back, y'all.
Theater North Tulsa presents Nat Turner in Jerusalem at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center. A powerful two-person drama imagining the final night of Nat Turner as he confronts Thomas R. Gray, the man who recorded his word and helped shape his legacy. Written by Nathan Allen Davis and directed by Keith Daniels. It's the hit stage play Nat Turner in Jerusalem. Explore faith, resistance, and the cost of telling the truth. Don't miss Nat Turner in Jerusalem, playing at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center, Liddy Dungeons Theater, February 21st and 22nd, 8 o'clock and 3 p.m. And February 28th and March 1st, 8 o'clock and 3 p.m. Get your tickets now for Nat Turner in Jerusalem at TulsaPAC.com or call 918-596-7111. Nat Turner in Jerusalem by Nathan Allen is presented by arrangement on behalf of Samuel French Incorporated.
You know what? It's really not that bad being up at 5 a.m.
Damali, you know what? You're absolutely right. The only thing better is we on 5 days a week.
7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
It's the Community Wake Up, our brand new morning show.
Right here on NYCU.FM.
And simulcast on KBOB 89.9 FM.
We got your Black History Trivia.
We got your medical report.
Don't forget the police report.
Your local, national, and international news.
Always the latest on upcoming events.
The Divine Nine and HBCU check-ins.
And most importantly, we can't do it without you.
And make sure you join us each and every day.
It's the Community Wake Up
with Charles and Damali.
Buy local, build local, support local. The Small Business Spotlight is brought to you by NYCU.FM. Listen live at NYCU.FM 24/7. Local dreams, local dollars, local success.
Community. Welcome back to the Community Wake Up with Charles and
Damali.
Hey, we back live in studio. Appreciate y'all locking in. What's on this Thankful Thursday, Throwback Thursday, and all of that. Remember, we are live Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on NYC.FM. Also, simulcast on KBOB 89.9 FM on YouTube, the official World One Development News you can use. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Now, check this out. When you go to NYCU.FM on your phone, we want to go everywhere with you. So stroll on your phone, hit that play button. You can Bluetooth it to your car. You can be in the gym with your headphones on like us when we working out and we jamming the best R&B, R&B, and throwbacks all day long. So the music is clean with no cussing. So even when we go off the air, I want to encourage y'all to keep listening to NYCU.FM because we live all day. We'll have the super mix from 2 to 6 with DJ JB Smooth. Got Energizer. He do the overnight drive. And during the day, we're going to keep you with them smooth vibes that you will love.
Absolutely.
So, welcome back to the show.
Absolutely. I see Natasha Mitchell has joined. What's up, sis? How are you doing today?
What's up, family? Good to see you. Good to see you. Damali, as we wrap up the segment we was going over with ownership and opportunity, here's the thing about ownership and opportunity. Damali, as you get a little bit older, the beauty is you get a chance to pay off your car. You get a chance to pay off your house. And what I'm realizing in my age, when you pay off your house, that mortgage, and you pay off your car, AJ can attest to this because this is how he live. AJ live good. Him and Miss Linda never stop smiling. All you see is all 32 of their teeth at all times. My little bro, he done paid for his first house. He's smiling because that's a little bit. So it's people on here that make these things happen that look like us. And my daughter a couple of weeks ago, she hit me up. Guess what she said?
What'd she say?
She said, Dad, I paid the car off.
Yes.
And she ain't stopped smiling since.
That is the best feeling ever. I remember when I paid my car off, honey, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Boy, when you don't have no car payment, don't let that car payment be 4, 5, 6, 7, 800. You pay that off, you be like, oh my God.
Like, I got all this money.
I got all this money now. Let me tell you, actually, this, Damali, advice for people that do pay off their vehicle. What should they do with that extra money that they now have?
So this is what you should do, in my opinion.
Right.
You should save it and invest it.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Because you've been paying this money anyway. Typically,
3, 4, 5 years already.
It's usually 5 to 7 years now is how long you're paying for these cars nowadays. And so you're paying that money anyway. So instead of using that and just blowing the money, then invest it. Look at some stocks, some bonds,
cryptocurrency
that you can get involved in, something that's going to give you a return on your investment.
Right.
Get with a financial planner and look at ways that you can, take that money and do something where that money grows. So it's not just sitting there, that is actually growing and it's giving you a return.
Right. I like that. And then when you want another vehicle, just lease it for a couple of years, because I'm telling you, having you one vehicle paid for, that means you got some, you always riding, because Damali said best, you always want to be able to go home and you always want to be able to have your own car.
Right.
Because at least you have the basic things to operate in life. But I want to just do a shout out to Glow. She's always a secret listener. You can feel her.
Hey, Glow.
What? How you say it again?
Hey, Glow.
Welcome to the show. I like that. All right, what we got coming up next?
Okay, so community alert. We want to remind you guys about some things that are going to be happening in community right now. The 13th annual Black Wall Street Heritage and History Festival is going to be happening on February 7th. So that's on Saturday at the 36th Street North Event Center, located at 1125 East 36th Street North. The theme for this year's event is Black Thoughts Matter.
I love it.
With special guest speaker Koresh Ali Lenzana. For vendor information, you can contact Billy Parker at 918-770-6020.
Let me ask you something, Damali. It is Black History Month. Happy Black History Month to all of y'all out there listening in. What is Black History Month? Now, I know we do Black History every day, all day. I know that. But this is still the official Black History Month. When you think about Black History Month, what does that mean to Damali?
It's standing on the shoulders of those who came before us. Yeah. So we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to do something with the freedoms that they fought for. Right. And then we need to make this world better than what it was when we found it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if we're standing on their shoulders, we need to do something so people can be standing on our shoulders.
Right. I love that. And for me, Black History Month is an opportunity for me to pause, stop, and say thank you. Thank you to the people that fought, that died, that blood sweat, and tear so that we could have the community wake up with Charles and Damali.
Absolutely.
And I'm hopeful now. I'm starting to feel some little feet coming up on my shoulders. You get 50, you're like, oh, they
walking up the spine.
We standing on some shoulders, but you get about 50, 60, you feel them feet getting up on yours. So now you become the shoulders that the next generation is standing on. So now I feel the obligation because I'm thankful that people like your mom, my mom, people in the community and leaders, especially the Martins and the Malcolms and all of them, the John Lewises of the world and stuff, man, they did so much thinking about us, and we wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
We wasn't even here yet. And I'm thankful that we can do the things that we're currently doing now to do the same thing for others. So let's just find a way, Damali. I would feel good if we could find a way for the younger generation to connect more with us so we can have that respect level, that honor level. Because when you think about our generation, we never cussed around grown people. We never disrespected grown. I mean, our elders and stuff, man, we didn't worship them like you worshiping the Lord, but man, we was appreciative of the old. We always like that old knowledge. Come over here and let me talk to you for a minute. Yeah. So your youngsters out there, just remember, the seasoned people have been here longer, and there's a lot that you can learn for them. So respect and honor and those things. So happy Black History Month. If it's something on here, if it means to you when you think of Black history, then let us know.
Absolutely. Okay. The Ouachita County Training School and Greater Bradley District Association will host their annual Black History Month program on Saturday, February the 7th at 6:00 p.m. at Word Family Church's Family Life Center in Camden, Arkansas.
Where?
Camden, Arkansas.
Say it with your chest.
Camden, Arkansas.
Hey, if you don't know now, you know.
The keynote speaker is our very own Mr. Charles Harper, who is a Bearden, Arkansas native. And so we want to support him as much as possible. This is going to be a fundraiser,
right,
to raise money for the historically Black school that was in Bearden, right?
Right.
And they are looking to raise money to refurbish or renovate the gym.
Right.
In that community and create make the gym the hub of the community. And so we're asking everyone, just make a donation. You can go to Cash App and Cash App any amount that you would like to donate. The Cash App is $OCTS 1969. And so let's do that in support of Charles. That's another way how you can support community is by just, giving a few dollars here and there to support those in community who are doing the work.
Man, I am so excited about this opportunity to go home. I've been in Tulsa, and sometimes I don't just think about it every day, but have had to raise and deal with millions of dollars for our Educated Youth and Family Fund Center, for this event center that we're sitting in now, for our prison reentry program, for all the engagement, all these different things that we do that have taken us to Africa. It's taken us to London. It's taken us to Israel. And now I'm getting a chance to go home to kind of do what I've been doing all this time. Because sometimes you can feel like, man, I got all this stuff going on in all these other states. And then here in Tulsa, but to have the opportunity to come home. And today, when I was kind of pondering on it, like what I was going to say, I'm going to reach out to people. So if you got some of those young men or women, bring them out with you. If you got some kids in high school, bring them out with you. Because, it's like yesterday, I was just in Bearden in middle school and high school and playing sports and running around playing baseball at the club doing the percolator. Don't laugh at me. But then, so, I came up with the BBD, all of them. I came up during that era. So there's a lot of dancing going on. Here comes the hammer. You know that.
Oh, my God. Listen, I went to the whole concert.
You went to the hammer concert?
Oh, my God.
You know how to do the
when
running
he had 500 people on stage? Yeah.
Man, growing up, we would have the house parties everywhere, dancing, and everybody parking garages and all that stuff all outside. Man, we were playing softballs on the weekend, and things are just not the same in none of our communities like that, man.
Right.
When I was in Bearden, Sparkman, Camden, Fordyce, all of those towns, there was always fun stuff to do. But a lot of those things were centered around the gymnasium. It's a sacredness to the Black gym in your community, because it's not just about sports. It helps you with your leadership. And then, unfortunately, when crazy things happen, it can be there too. So I want to be able to give the young people something that I wish people did give me these things, but I'm not sure if I've shared those things yet.
Right.
So I'm excited to go home to share. I took these things from a small town of less than 1,000 people. Would you believe I'm from a town of less than 1,000 people?
No.
A lot of people be like, bro, I'm like, No, oh, you probably from DC, you probably from New York. No, I'm from a town in Bearden, Arkansas that's less than 1,000 people.
Wow.
And from that small town, what y'all see, this energy y'all get, all the stuff we do, local, national, international, it all came from a small town. Like people like AJ, people like Brendan Isham, and a lot of others that jump on the live. A lot of them, my boy Marquise, you know, come from small towns. But because you come from a small town does not mean you can't do big things.
And you should be, you're an example.
I want to be,
and we need to be, you know, more examples to that next generation so that they don't feel like I'm stuck where I am.
I can guarantee you right now, there's probably nobody, not even my family that love me, that would ever think I would be a CEO. They might have thought he might do something, but where I'm from, you don't see a lot of CEOs. You don't get a lot. You don't get a lot of those things from there. But I'm excited to come home.
Yeah.
Basically, I said all that just to say that. So y'all get a ticket. It's $25. We're gonna dance. We're gonna eat. We're gonna have a good time. And Damali, you going? What you talking about?
I am
going. You going to Camden?
I'm going to Camden.
You coming to Camden?
Yes.
So basically, at this point, the community wake up is gonna be in Camden, Arkansas this weekend.
Yes, this weekend.
Look, this time tomorrow after the show, we're gonna get out of here. And we're going to roll down to Camden, Arkansas. If anybody cooking, if your grandma cooking or if your grandpa cooking, text us because Charles and Damali will come to your house.
We on the way.
We on the way. Just I need some Louisiana hot sauce, some fried chicken, some yams. You like collard greens, cabbage? You want some soul food or regular
Oh, my God. I know. I like soul food.
Cake, pound. So if you got some.
Gonna mess up my whole diet.
Hey,
okay.
Some of our other NYC.FM families been telling me they're gonna pull up too.
Yeah.
I talked to a city council that's another city. They're gonna pull up too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people gonna pull up. So we're gonna have a good time in Camden, Arkansas. We're gonna be there this weekend. The community wake up.
Absolutely, absolutely. Also, there are scholarship opportunities, over $770,000 in scholarship for Oklahoma students, open to grades 9 through 12. They will test your knowledge of Oklahoma history and geography. You can register by February 27th at oklahomahof.com. And then EduRec Spring Break Camp is accepting registrations right now. You can give them a call at 918-430-3947, or you can go to edurectulsa.com. You can sponsor a child, which is $60 per child for the week, and that's going to give them breakfast, lunch, and activities all day.
Right.
From 9 to 4, we're going to take care of them. You can sponsor multiple children, or you can sponsor the entire camp. We're looking to have about 40 kids there.
Right.
So if you want to make a sponsorship, then you can go to edurectulsa.com for sponsorship information, or you can call Charles or myself. If you got our numbers, then you know.
Guess who on the live?
Who's on the live?
Because I know you want to know.
Who?
Take a sneak peek.
Gina, my soror. Good morning, Gina. How are you?
Good morning, soror. Good to see you on. That's what I'm talking about. Look, Marquise says, see you there, bro. That's
Marquise,
what I'm talking
you
about.
coming?
That's what I'm talking about. My boy showing up.
Pull up.
Look, me and Marquise, y'all just don't even know. If me and Marquise is in the same room, have you ever been in the same room with us?
I have, and it is hilarious.
Let me tell you something. It could just be me. We should do like a fireside chat. And let a fireside
you
chat.
know what? We are gonna go live while we down there.
Fireside chat. We could just get 2 chairs and a table with the fire in the back. If me and Marquise sat and talked for an hour,
it's hilarious.
It would be a comedy show. You would be laughing.
Central.
It probably would be a special with 1 million views across. But just to see my brother, man, I'm excited about seeing and his wife. And hey, Marquise, if you can bring them boys down there, my nephews, bring them because I got something for them. Guess who else is on? Favorite little cousin.
What's up, cousin? How are you, cousin sister?
Hey, look, man, favorite little cousin. I love favorite little cousin because favorite little cousin done moved from Arkansas down here, and she getting a chance to do that entrepreneur journey that a lot of people think are easy, but it's not. But you be cutting your teeth, you're getting through that fire. But when you get on the other side, guess what, Damali? You don't even smell like smoke.
That's right.
So for you out there, like Brendan Isham and others, man, you got these small businesses and you transition in, just hang in there because everything is just a learning process.
Absolutely.
But continue to support those people. And speaking of that, I need some of my butter. You got any April's butter?
Right.
April,
I think I'm down to the bottom of the barrel.
Cousin, put your
sugar
stuff
scrub.
on. I need my sugar scrub.
Come on now.
Do we wear sugar scrub? I don't know if sugar scrub go with men. Sugar scrub.
Yeah, she's got some that's
Cousin, you got me some scrub. I just need, man.
So she got some new fragrances.
Yeah, I feel like a fiend waiting on your stuff.
No, don't do that. Don't turn into Smokey.
Let them know what. Sheba Shamori. Put the website in there, cousin.
Right.
We want to show you a love because you a small business doing big things.
Absolutely. Okay, so we only have about another 10 minutes or so.
10 minutes on the top of the hour.
So we're going to talk really quick about stewardship in community.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to talk about vision in community. Okay. So stewardship is about responsibility. It's about how we care for people, places, and resources we all share. Stewardship means we don't just use what we have, we protect it, grow it, and leave it better than we found it. I think we talked about that and kind of hit on that a little bit earlier. In a community, stewardship shows up in everyday choices. It's about how we treat our neighbors, how we look after our streets, schools, and shared spaces, how we use our time, money, and opportunity wisely, not wastefully. Stewardship is about thinking beyond ourselves. It asks, what kind of community are we building for the next generation? When stewardship is missing, communities struggle. Resources get drained, trust breaks down, short-term decisions cause long-term harm. I'm going to say that again. That's good stuff. Trust breaks down, short-term decisions cause long-term harm.
Man.
But when stewardship is present, communities become stronger. People take pride in where they live. Youth are guided and mentored. Elders are honored. Growth becomes sustainable. Stewardship turns ownership into responsibility. It turns progress into legacy. So today we encourage you to care for your neighbor, support local people and places, use resources with intention. Think about the future, not just about the moment, because stewardship is how communities thrive today and endure tomorrow.
That's what I'm talking about, stewardship. When you think stewardship, Damali, what does stewardship mean to you?
It's just what it said. It's about leaving this place better than we found it. So protecting the resources that are available in the space. And so we've, it's all of our responsibility to do that. So I take that very seriously. So, that's why if I go to Oasis Fresh Market, if I see that asset, if I see some paper on the ground, I'm gonna pick it up.
There you go.
Because this is my community grocery store, right? It's not just Oasis. I don't like, AJ got people that he paid to do that. Pick up the trash, man. Get the basket that's sitting out here that somebody left. Just put it over there in the little cart.
I think something that's good stewardship, something to think about is maybe sponsor one of the small basketball teams in your area, a cheerleading squad. You're a business, you're doing well. You see them outside practicing, doing good. Good stewardship is pulling up on that coach, those young people trying to be positive and say, you know what, I want to buy y'all ice cream for the day because y'all out here practicing. It's hot. This football team, they need somebody maybe to get them lunch before a game. See, that's what good stewardship is. And you pull up to somebody's spot in the Damali, you said it best. Most of the time when you see a place real clean, when you see something on the ground, you be like, let me get that. No, you didn't throw it down, but that's stewardship right there.
Stewardship, protecting.
Yeah, you hear about Miss Anime was in the hospital the last month. You go by and take her a hot meal. Let her know that you're missing, that you're glad she's doing okay.
Exactly.
You see Mr. Nelson, I'm just making up names, y'all. Mr. Nelson been having a hard time. He had a stroke. And it seemed like he's there by himself. You go over there and hang out with him for the day.
Cut his grass.
Go grab him some groceries. I mean, those things go a long way because when you mention seniors, the seniors have already done a lot for you and for others that you have no idea. And when you're sitting there by yourself and you feel like nobody cares, imagine if that was you, because we all. If we live long enough,
we gonna get there.
Uncle Bobby be saying the old man is coming.
The old man is coming.
When Uncle Bobby said that is funny to me. He said, Charles, the man used to always tell me, he said, the old man is coming. Now, the old man ain't caught me yet, but the fact that and the old woman is coming.
The old woman is coming.
You keep living, Damali, the old woman is coming.
Real talk.
Check on the old man and check on the old woman.
So we're also going to talk really quick about vision and what vision means in our community. Vision is the shared picture of where we're going. It's the belief that our future can be better than our present together. Vision gives us direction instead of confusion. Without vision, communities are stuck reacting to problems. Every challenge feels urgent. Every setback feels final. But when a community has vision, something shifts. People start planning instead of panicking. They move with purpose instead of frustration. They begin building, not just surviving. Vision brings unity. It helps people look past differences and rally around common goals, like safer neighborhoods, stronger families, better schools, and real opportunity. Vision also creates hope. It reminds us that what we see today is not all there is. It gives young people something to believe in. It gives elders confidence that their work mattered. Just what you just said.
Right.
And vision turns into action. It guides decisions. It shapes priorities. It helps us invest time and resources wisely. Strong communities don't wait for vision to appear. They choose it, share it, and work toward it together. So today, we encourage you to think beyond the moment, speak life into the future, and align your activities with where you want the community to go. Because when a community has vision, it doesn't just move forward, it moves forward together.
I love that. You know what I think would be a good thing for a Thankful Thursday?
What's that?
Damali, is everybody on the live or you're listening in, do an act of kindness.
Wow, right.
An act of kindness.
Yeah.
An act of kindness might just be the secretary that you just haven't got a chance to chop it up with in a while. But you may stop and say, you know what, today I just want to tell you that I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Maybe bring her something or bring him something.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, or if you're in line at McDonald's today and you see a family behind you, you're like, oh man, you know what? Let me take care of their meal. That's an act of kindness. So it be the little things, Damali, that makes your community stronger and better. Do you ever do act of kindness?
Oh yeah.
What do you
like
do?
all the time? I mean, I'll pay for something, like, we'll go out to eat sometimes, with the ladies, and I'm like, I got the check, and I'll grab the check and go ahead and take care of it. I might get something for a little kid.
Right.
You know how you see the kids in the store. They're like, "Mommy, I want this." And you're like, "We ain't got no money for that. Stop it." And I'll be like, "Hey, do you mind if I, get that for your child?" Just doing little things like that. I might go and take some food to my aunt,
Right.
who is an elder. Matter of fact, I made chili just the other day, and took that to my mom and my sister.
Right.
Just to share, what it is that we had. So they were happy about that chili and them cinnamon rolls.
Right.
So,
And here's another good act of kindness. It goes both ways. A lot of times when you're younger, you can look and say, my parents' job is to always just take care of me. So I want to ask some of the younger people, if your parents are still here, your grandparents, an act of kindness, cash app them $15 and say, I'm gonna get your lunch today. I appreciate you. I'm proud of you. I'm thankful for what you do. If you're a young person with kids, sometime in the hustle bustle of life, kids going to basketball or going here and going, they just running. Sometimes you got to have them pause and just give them a good hug and say, I am so proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the great kid that you are, and those kind of things. All those are great act of kindness, because sometimes you slow your wife down, slow your boo thing down, slow down your person on the side, slow down. No, that's
okay,
too far.
stop it.
Slow
you down. Get out of people's business.
What I'm saying is, every now and then it's good to just slow down. The people that you love, the people that you care about, it's good to slow down, take a deep breath, and just tell them that you see them, that you appreciate them. I know I've been busy. I might have just been up because life been lifing so much, but I still want to say I appreciate you and I love you and I care about you. I think that's a good thing to do on today.
And I would also want to piggyback off of that and say, here's another thing you can do. And we're going to start doing some checkups. So we want to know, what Black businesses have you supported, or community businesses have you supported?
Right.
And so we'll start, that'll be one of the segments that we'll talk about, one time out of the month, just who have you supported?
Right.
So we'll be keeping track of ours.
Right.
And letting you know who we've supported. And then, we want you guys to do the same. So on tomorrow's show, before we do that, April put in here, you can go to www.shemori.skincare.com. That's SHEMORI skincare.com, in order to get her body butters and sugar scrubs and all the stuff that she has for sale. She's a small business owner, so she's doing great things and great stuff, so we want to support her as well. But yeah, so we want you guys to support small business. So we'll be doing a check to see who is actually supporting small business and what small businesses you've supported.
Guess who just came on the live?
Who's that?
Just made my whole day.
Who's that?
None other, when you're talking about honoring somebody, Miss Ernestine Broom.
Oh, Miss Broom. Hey, how are you?
Oh, this woman is so beautiful.
Yes.
This woman did so much for Damali and I, for everything we have done. Miss Broom, we miss you. She might still be getting some help because her health kind of failed just a little bit, but we love you, Miss Broom, and we miss you, and we happy that you chimed in today. And I'm just gonna say that act of kindness is we honor you and appreciate you always. Miss Ernestine, Miss Ernestine Broom is one of the best.
Yes.
Damali.
Yes,
Them
she
hugs
is.
she give,
Yes.
she gonna give you a hug. What's better than a good hug?
Man.
She gonna
I can't call
look,
it.
you know you're getting a good hug when somebody go, oh Lord.
Yeah.
So you don't know if they just hugging you or praying for you. But she gonna give you a big hug. She gonna give you a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
And her daughter exemplifies that same thing. You run into Angie, you work with her kids.
Angie just texted me, as a matter of fact,
She
because she
did?
get ready for her big birthday party. So
You know.
she just texted me. Yeah.
So we appreciate you tuning in. And,
Yeah.
love you. And then AJ, he said he just did an act of kindness. You want to read that one?
Oh, AJ, what did you do? Let's see. You said I've paid for other people's groceries that's in front of me in the grocery store while paying for mine at the same time. I've done it quite a few times. Good job, AJ. Uncle Brian said, great show again today on my way to the doctor. I hope everything goes well, Uncle Brian. He said, peace out.
Peace out. That's old. They older seasoned people, not older seasoned people. They just, when they get off the phone with you, they say, okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
I'm
Peace
like,
out.
hold on. In our generation, we like to say, okay, have a good day. Love you. Can't wait to talk to you again.
No, that's too many
seasoned
words.
people be like, okay, bye. That's the end of the conversation.
Holla.
Uncle Brian, love you. Appreciate you tuning in and giving your insight as always. Uncle Brian, he's like one of the absolute best. Damali, we right at the top of the hour. We got to get ready to get out of here.
We're getting ready to get up out of here. So on tomorrow, our theme is going to be joy, reflection, and forward vision. That's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Don't forget, you need to like our page. And share the show with 5 friends and tell them to like our page. But most importantly, we want you to tune in to the show tomorrow. If you would like to advertise your events or businesses on our show, you can go to nycu.fm and submit an inquiry. Somebody will get in contact with you about being able to do that. So the views and thoughts and opinions expressed on this program belong solely to us, me and Charles.
It's on us.
And our guests, which we haven't had any yet, but they coming, and not necessarily to this station, affiliates, organizations, committee, or other group or individual associated with NYCU.FM. This has been the Community Wake Up with
Mr. Charles Harper.
And I'm Damali Wilson.
And we out because it's 9 a.m., but we're going to see you tomorrow morning. Be blessed.
Have a good day.